Welcome back. I am Day, and this is 5Below Product Reviews, where we take art products from 5Below and we check them out. So we've done quite a bit, and today's I'm really excited about because it is brush markers. And I love brush markers. I love any kind of brush pen or anything that has that flexible kind of brush tip. I think they're really fun to draw with, and I also think it's one of those things where you can't really mess it up. So I have two packs. One is the Art 101 pack, and another one is just like 5Below pack. It didn't really have like a brand on it, but they looked very similar, so I thought, why not just use them side by side and check them both out at the same time. The Art 101 had super cute packaging, little rainbow, and let's get started then. So first, I'm going to swatch them all because the color on the barrels are never quite exact with the color of the marker, and I thought this would be a good way to just compare them all and know what colors we're working with. So we'll start off with the smaller pack, which was like the 5Below-ish branded, no brand, no frills brush pen. They're a little bit shorter. It's a flexible nib. It's not a rubber nib, so if you know what I'm talking about when I say rubber, sometimes brush pens have that, and it's really not a brush. It's squeaky and flexible. These were definitely flexible and came to a nice point and very smooth. I thought for just a couple of bucks, these were great colors. Again, they don't match the barrel all the time, but not so far off. They had some nice, actually, like the lavender and the pink and some of the peachy colors actually came out really nice. Sometimes with pens like this, that lighter color is hard. And you'll see there one of those yellows look pretty fluorescent, which was a little bit surprising too, because usually you don't get those types of colors in a general pack of markers. So here's the Art 101s. They're a bigger barrel, slightly put together different. Their nib was a bit more firm and flexible, I want to say, like a little bit more structured. Felt a little bit better put together. And then they were much juicier. So the color, I don't know, some of them seemed very similar, but just a little bit softer and a little bit inkier than the other ones. But all in all, very similar. Wouldn't be surprised if they were all actually made by the same company or factory, and they were all the 5Below Art 101 brand actually, and just not branded that way, and just a little bit more plain. So now I'm just going to sketch out what do we want to draw with these markers, or more or less, what do we want to color in with these markers. So I'm using one of my 5Below little sketch pads to just start there and test out some of the colors that I want to use and decide on what we're going to do. So I don't do a lot of faces, so I was like, well, maybe we'll do something with a face. So I'm using Bristol paper, just mechanical pencil, to come in and draw one of the doodles that I decided on. So we're just going to do a face and to work in my tentacle hair. If you follow me on Instagram, I've done this type of design a couple of times. I don't think I did any on video, but I did watercolor similar to this style, but it's definitely not something I do often. I don't do faces often, so she looks a little wonky, but it works, and it's what we're going to go with. So I also decided with these markers, after a little bit of testing out, realistic skin tones are really hard. Alcohol markers really lend themselves a little bit better to get some realistic skin tones. So we're just going not realistic with her colors and her skin tones, which is totally fine because she's some kind of weird octopus, mermaid, sea creature, queen something. I don't even know what she is, but and here I'm sneaking in another 5Below product, which I will do at another time and talk about. But I am using a 5Below fine liner to come in. I don't know if I'll do a video on fine liners. I might work it in, but I don't typically use fine liners, so I figured this was a good time to just test it out because I wanted to get an outline and really feel like I was doing like an adult coloring book and actually coloring in something with the fine shapes, as opposed to just putting down color and then trying to find the edges afterward, which is a lot of times what I do. So here we're going right in, and this is what I said with not realistic skin color. After doing some swatching, I decided that she was just going to be green. It was definitely too hard to find a decent skin color. It didn't look weird, so why not just go full weird and make her green? And so far, the markers are really nice. They're laying on the paper very smooth. When I started coloring large spaces, it's definitely streaky, but I expected an amount of streakiness in a marker. I mean, if you've used a Crayola marker, it's just, any kind of like water-based type of marker, it is what it is. When you're making a continuous stroke, it came out very nice and smooth. So like the eyebrows and lips and smaller sections look less streaky because the actual like brush tip was able to fill the space. But other than that, it's pretty good. I will note that the fine liner seemed to disappear the more ink I laid down, so I did come in with one of the brush markers to give it a little bit more definition. I probably could have came in with a fine liner again, but I wanted this to be a little bit more about the brush markers. So I really enjoyed them. I would give these a thumbs up. I would definitely use these again, maybe in a coloring book, because I think they'd be really fun that way. So check them out. Happy shopping. Thanks for coming.